Hey guys, Mike here. So we have entered into some very interesting territory for the market. We have accomplished something today officially that we have not accomplished since the dot-com bubble once again, and you're starting to hear that more and more, right? Hadn't seen this since the dot-com bubble. This hasn't happened since the dot-com bubble. But once again, we hit another feat today, and that is selling off 7 straight weeks. As you can see on the NASDAQ chart right here, it has been a brutal 7-week sell-off, and look at the RSI. Oversold. This is a weekly chart. You go back to last April, it's nowhere close to that, right? And so you see the stochastic RSI as well, down where it's at. And I think that's why a lot of people came out on YouTube, the perma bears, and a lot of them are covering their shorts because they know this history, just like I'm about to tell you, that this rarely happens. And the last time it actually happened, you're looking at January of 02, which is the dot-com bubble. You had 7 straight weeks, you had a 13% rally, and then what preceded that was an absolute fall off of a cliff, just a slow bleed down of around 36% more. If we go back before that, you'll see right there, January 2001, you had 7 straight weeks, 1 little green week, 2 more red weeks after that, another 13% drop that was, and then you proceeded to have a 28% run up in a little over a month. And then, of course, it proceeded to sell off some more after that. But you see where the RSI is. You see where the stochastic RSI is. Does that look familiar on the weekly here? And then you look at the S&P, 7 straight weeks down. This is very tough to do in the S&P because it's so diversified, right? Unlike the NASDAQ. But when we scroll back, you see right there, 2020 didn't sell off that many weeks because it was over very quickly. 2018 was a brutal sell-off, not even close to 7 straight weeks down. We come back to 2015, 2016. Not even close to 7 straight weeks down at all. At the most you had 2 or 3 and then a green week. And you go back over here, you got, what is this, 2008 right here. And you can see going through 2009, 1, 2, and then there's a green, right? So you may have 1, 2, 3, 4 and a green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a green. But for 7, it's just brutal. And if we just keep scrolling back, you can see once we get in the dot-com bubble, one of the sell-offs that lasts for 2.5 years, which you hope we're not in, right there, 02, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the problem is there's a green, right? So again, you don't get 7 straight weeks down, and then here we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's the first time, right there, January 01, big sell-off, 7 straight weeks, 1 green, 1 red, and then boom. Ends up popping up and goes up about 13% in a short amount of time, and then of course sells off for another many years. Once again, you have 6 right there, not 7. And so again, this is just rare. You just don't see it. And remember this, for future, whatever many years you're in this market, remember what happens. We could go 8 straight weeks. We could go 9. I didn't see anything on that chart showing 8 or 9 in a row. There's at least 1 green somewhere to break it up. And, I find it interesting that I saw one guy 2 days ago, their portfolio, the fund manager was 55% short, and they said they lowered it down to 5. They've been short the whole time, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, because why? They're seeing this stuff too. Doesn't mean it's not going to continue to go down at all, but he's just playing the odds. And he's like, man, 7 straight weeks. Got to have 1 green week in there somewhere, as you see by all those years on those charts in the S&P and the NASDAQ, okay? And so, that right there kind of tells you in a way where we're at. It's brutal, it's painful, and it's one of those things. I should have said this weeks ago, and I meant to, and I said I'm not gonna say it, but it's something this week has just been bugging me. And it's honestly, I'm not putting anybody down, I don't say names, but I keep seeing these YouTubers that have huge followings, and they keep saying buy the dip. And I say, you know what? Let me clarify something for you guys, okay? By the way, hit the like, subscribe button if you get anything out of this. I really appreciate that. It helps the channel out a lot. Understand what the dip is. I think the problem is people don't understand what a dip is, right? According to NASDAQ, a dip is a slight drop in securities prices after a sustained uptrend, which we're not in. Analysts often advise investors to buy on dips, meaning buy when a price is momentarily weak, right? So temporary, momentarily. And then understand, buying the dip refers to going long an asset or security after its price has experienced a short-term decline in repeated fashion. Buying the dips can be profitable in long-term uptrends, but unprofitable or tougher during secular downtrends. Understand, this is last year. This is a confirmed uptrend, okay? This is a dip. This is a dip. This right here is a dip, smaller, but it is. Dip. And then this is a dip, and then here's a big nice dip for a nice rally after that. Those are dip buying opportunities, okay? Now what are we in? This is a confirmed brutal downtrend with no end in sight so far. And as you can see, we're at the bottom of the channel right now if we hold that. And you can see this right here, if you want to say it's a dip, that's fine, but really what it is that is a relief rally happening right there, or a bear market rally. Once again, there's another one, and now we're sitting here at the bottom going, whew, okay, are we gonna get another one? There's kind of a small one if you wanna look at that. And so you can continue to keep buying this dip in this downtrend if you would like. If you wanna call it a dip, that's fine. Technically, I guess, in a way it's a dip, but in an uptrend it's profitable, in a downtrend it is brutal and you might run out of money, because you can see this downtrend has been going on for quite a while right now. And so, you know, I couldn't believe my ears over the last 2 weeks when I've heard certain YouTubers keep telling people to buy the dip on the same companies, you know, they're down 90% or whatever. And so it's brutal, you know. And I hate to see it because I see people in the comments, got people sending me emails, and I'm like, dude, do what you want to do what you believe in, but understand there's a big difference in buying the dip in an uptrend and buying the dip in a downtrend. And I just want to show you a visual of that so maybe you can see it and go, oh, okay, gotcha. And you know, this is going to be a brutal year, just the way it is. Okay, I mean, remember, this sell-off has already lasted longer in 2020, lasted longer in 2018, lasted longer in 2015, 2016, lasted longer in 2011. Okay, so the only thing we got to compare this to is 08 and the dot-com bubble. One was 2.5 years, one was 1.5 years, and we're about, from November to here, what, 7 months into this thing or something. So, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just tough. And the mega caps are just starting to fall, right? Again, doesn't mean we're not going to have relief rallies, but I see people, they're buying these dips, buy the dip, and they get all excited when we get a relief rally. Like, thank God I bought all those dips, and then the bottom just fell out 7 weeks ago, and it kept coming down, and you're like, ugh, you know, and I just hate to see it. And I'll be honest with you, full disclosure, I mean, I didn't think I'd do it, but finally I said, you know what, I unsubscribed to a whole bunch of channels. I did. I just got tired of seeing it. Because, you know, I hear your stories, I hear people, you know, I talk to them either in the Discord, the comments, the emails, and I'm like, man, you know, it sucks. But, you know, I enjoyed buying the dip last year. I think I bought maybe one purchase of a dip, if you want to call it that, on a stock that got crushed. That was it, you know. But once I see we're in this downtrend, that was weeks and weeks ago, I saw, oh man, this ain't stopping. No. You know, there's just, you know, I get the question, people ask me, they answer about the stock, it's the same answer every time. If you believe in that stock, go for it. Just be ready for more downside. I'm just telling you now, like, be braced and ready for that. You know, and yes, if you're sitting in a stock and your average cost is 200 and the stock's sitting at 50, I mean, honestly, you know, and you ask me, should I DCA in? If you're not planning on selling the stock, I think you can answer that for yourself, right? I mean, ain't gonna hurt to DCA in. You already got a cost basis of 200, you know. I mean, if it was me, I'd be calling my accountant and say, hey, what happens if I sell this now and take the losses and then buy back in 30 days later? You know, what was the tax consequences? That's what I would do. But, you know, again, you got to do what's best for you. But, man, just, I get, you know, people want to follow, you know, the big YouTubers because they're millionaires, and I get that. But they don't understand their millions don't come from investments. Their millions comes from YouTube. That's just the truth. All right? I'm in this game back. I don't make that kind of money. I'm a small-time YouTuber, but... You know, and that's the way it'll always be, because I made a pivot last year. I made the decision to say, I'm just going to do it this way, and that's the way it's going to be. And people got to make their own decisions, and that's the way it is, right? And the majority, the masses don't like that, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And so I'm just, yeah, man, seeing people get, I don't know, just follow people off the cliff, it's disheartening, right? It sucks. And so, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, just at least put that out there, say that's what it is. So take that for what it's worth. You know, also understand, yes, at some point in time, there's got to be a green week, okay? History tells us there's got to be a green week, even if it's a small one, right? I mean, good Lord. But we'll see. You know, being oversold on that weekly chart, it's not so much of a bad thing. At least we're somewhere at the bottom there. We'll see. Not the bottom, but a bottom. So anyway, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later, okay?